Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's video are updates from the last video story. The link to the original story is up here and in the description. Go watch it first if you haven't yet. But if you have, let's start. Update: how things have been going between me and my mom. I gave the book. So, just an update, posting during locker break, so I can't respond till later, cause some people are curious and are messaging me, so here's like a mass update. I've been going to therapy with my mom every Friday, but we hang out just the two of us on Saturdays and Sundays. Like, on our first weekend together she took me to see Batman, and the day after we went to Boston Pizza. Since then we've really just been going on walks and hikes, or even shopping, but I like that cause we get to talk a lot, and we talk on FaceTime every day. It really does feel like I've gotten her back as my mom, and that's what I wanted. The best part is that when we hug now it's like we're actually hugging, and before it was like I did it cause I had to, and I guess it just feels so special. Like, I don't know, but I feel really happy, which I didn't before. I guess it was like I was missing something, cause even my girlfriend has said that I seem a lot happier than before. Therapy has been really weird. It's not at all what I thought it would be. Like, before the first meeting, my dad talked to the psychologist for like half an hour, like he was interrogating her, but then my mom and I had the session. It was like the psychologist was focused on that book and why it made my mom cry and everything. The sessions since then have been weird, cause it's like I end up crying a lot, so my mom always brings a bottle of Gatorade for me. My mom does end up crying too, but she always tries to hide it and not show, and when the therapist asked why, she said cause she doesn't want her crying to influence what I'm saying or how I'm feeling. I still don't feel comfortable going alone, even though the therapist has said it and my mom said she'll take me, and is going to start going on her own too, but I just don't feel ready. Oh, and in therapy, I did tell her I was worried that she was only doing all of this because she wanted to bring me into her family, and when she figured out it would never happen, she would just choose her husband again and leave me for good. That made her cry a lot and she couldn't even hold it in, and she was like, it's cause she's finally starting to understand that I don't trust her, and I might never trust her again, and she knows it's all her fault. She did promise me again though, that I'd never have to see her husband, and she'd only bring her daughters when I wanted, and that she'd never let him stop her from going to my graduations and my wedding. When she kinda calmed down, she did say that the only time I'd have to deal with him was at her funeral, but I don't want to think about that. I don't want to write too much about what happened in therapy, but I guess I kind of felt like I should share that. Easter was the best holiday I've had in a while, even though I didn't go anywhere. My mom's husband took their kids to see his parents and she stayed behind. We spent so much time that weekend together. For part of it, I kind of felt like a little kid again. I even got to properly introduce her to my girlfriend and to my girlfriend's mom, and we all had Easter dinner together. My mom made the turkey and it was amazing. I didn't know how much I missed it, but it tasted exactly like it did when I was little. And I did finally admit to her that my grandparents aren't coming back from Italy, and that's why I was feeling so down recently. I also admitted that Dad and his fiancée are going to move to Catania after I graduate, and are going to stay there, and that I'll probably go to university in Catania and Palermo. She was sad and she did admit she didn't want me to go, cause I'd end up moving summer next year, and that's not that far away, and she probably wouldn't see me in person at all. But she did say she'd support me no matter what I chose, and a lot of our sessions since then have kind of focused on me going to university there. Yesterday, on Mother's Day, her husband went to see his parents again, and my mom and I were already going to a restaurant called Cactus Club together. I didn't know if he was taking their kids, and if he wasn't, I know I would have felt bad if they didn't get to celebrate Mother's Day with her too, so I said she could bring them. I don't really know the girls that well, but it was still a good time. My mom brought her camera with her, cause she hates using the one on the phone, and she got our waitress to take a photo of all of us together at the end. I did have the waitress take the photos again on my phone, so I could send them to her and she could have them on her phone. I guess that's another update for everyone who was asking. I don't mind updating, and I like talking to the people who comment here, but I'm going to tell my mom I've been posting. If she says I can keep posting, then I will, but if she tells me to stop, then this is the last one. Well, I'm glad that the relationship between OP and his mother is improving, and that his father agreed to let him go to therapy. And although it hurt, it's good that OP's mother finally understood how much she had hurt him with the cheating, but that she's open to fixing those issues. And I'm glad that OP has started to open up to the possibility of having some kind of relationship with his sisters. Let's hope that things only get better from now on. Oh, OP also tell us. Forgot to post this before, I brought up my posts with my mom during therapy. My mom doesn't really understand Reddit, so she was fine with it and said that as long as I stayed safe, I could keep doing it. The therapist said something like, if it helps me validate what I'm feeling inside, then it may be a good idea to continue. So, I guess I can keep posting. So, in this next post, OP talks about the upcoming changes in his family structure, and asks for advice on how to act. My dad's fiancée is adopting her niece and nephew, and I'm unsure what I should do. Hi, so I, 16, male, am not really sure what to do in this scenario. I'm not really even sure if this is the right place to post this. My dad, 34, male, and his fiancée Julia, 40, female, are set to move to Italy next year and get married there. Now Julia didn't live with us, but she was around often, but split a lot of her time between here and Catania in Italy. My dad is from Catania too, and I was born there, but so far I've lived my entire life in Canada, aside from summer vacations in Italy, and I will probably go to university there too. My grandparents went to visit relatives in Catania earlier this year, but decided to stay there, so there are 2 empty bedrooms in our house now. They hated sleeping in the same room cause my grandpa snores. So, a few days ago, Julia came back from Italy and visited us, and she'd obviously been crying. She told us that her younger sister died and that she's the only one who can take her kids in, so, they'll all be moving in with us, in about a month after their visa and stuff gets sorted. So for 1 year, they'll be staying with us here in Canada, and then everybody's moving to Italy. Honestly, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I've talked to Julia about the kids, and Giashu is her nephew, he's 13, and Amelia is her niece, she's 15. They don't know English, so we can't speak in that. Because of where Julia's sister lived, the kids speak Sicilian most of the time and their Italian has a heavy Sicilian accent, so I don't even know if I can speak to them in that. Obviously, if I go to university in Italy, I'll be seeing more of them, so it's not like I can avoid them. Does anybody know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in this scenario? Will you be living with your father and everyone, and moving together? Will you graduate high school before you move? Are you worried about anything in particular? Well, I guess the thing is I've never lived with my siblings, so I don't really know how to. My dad's fiancé was like, they can be like your brother and sister if you'll let them. I just don't really know what that means. I'm not close to the siblings I do have, so it also kind of feels like I'd be neglecting them if I were to get close to these 2 as well. But thank you for the advice. I guess it will be interesting to see how things change. Learn Sicilian if you can. Dude, I can't even speak French and I've been learning that in school since grade 2. Well, overall the comments suggest that OP simply be there for these children, and help them in the best way possible. They suggest that he be their friend, that he be someone they know they can trust, that he listens to them, and maybe, who knows, in the future he can become like an older brother to them. But also, what everyone recommends is that he go learn Italian or Sicilian, so that they don't have this communication barrier, especially since he said he intends to go to college in Italy, so he definitely should study the language more. Now let's go to the next update. And what about you guys? Are you liking the updates so far? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next update. Update: I got into AP English and my mom wants to take me on vacation with her. So, I guess to give an update, my exams are all done and it's summer break now. But, I got into AP English. I got 2 lists of books from my teacher cause he wants us to read them over the summer to be prepared. On one list it's books like Wuthering Heights, The Great Gatsby, Moby Dick and Frankenstein, and he said we absolutely should read through those, since we'll be choosing 2 of them to do essays and stuff on. On the other list, it's just a giant list of books that he recommends reading to be prepared. It's a really big list and of course, Anna Karenina is on the list. My girlfriend saw that and was like, well, good thing you already bought that one. Anyway, cause my mom knows all those books, I gave her the lists before we went to our therapy session and she agreed to take me to Indigo or to some old bookstores to get me the best versions of them, cause some of them are translated from other languages. I still don't feel comfortable doing therapy without her. I don't know, I just don't think that I'm going to be able to speak up without her there. She's pushing me to do it, but I just can't. She's even done some sessions alone through Teams, but like if I do it alone and I end up crying, I don't want the therapist to hug me, and if it's at home, I don't want my dad or his fiancé to wonder what's wrong. My dad still doesn't like that I'm doing therapy. He actually had a really big fight with his fiancé about it cause when her niece and nephew move in, she's going to send them to therapy. He's like, they shouldn't go cause they can't speak English and it might turn out like it did for him, cause he couldn't speak English when he had to go as a kid. It sucked cause I got roped into it and my mom ended up being called, and she threatened to pull the custody card on dad to make it clear I'd still be going with her. He did say sorry to me after and that he'll try to be more supportive and get over being scared. Anyway, my mom bought me The Great Gatsby, Moby Dick and Frankenstein, cause she said that Wuthering Heights will probably bore me. And from the other list, she got me The Count of Monte Cristo, A Tale of Two Cities, Great Expectations and Catch-22. She also gave me the copy of Anna Karenina that I gave her, and said she would like for me to read it, cause it might help me understand why getting that hurt her so much, but that if it gets too much, I can just give it back to her. I guess I can, I mean I saw the movie. How bad can it be? And my mom also said that she wants to take me on a trip somewhere in August, cause if I move to Italy with everybody next summer, then we probably won't ever have a proper vacation again. I don't know if I want to go, but if it means so much to her, then maybe I will. I just guess I'm scared that maybe her husband will end up coming, even though she said that he won't. I guess that's another update for whoever still cares. I'll keep posting as long as I have something I want to write about. I do like venting on here, and since the therapist has recommended I continue, I guess I will. And she's still with your stepdad? How will she handle it when he decides to push her to abandon you a second time or insert himself where he is fully unwanted? I don't ask about her relationship with him. I don't like talking about him any more than we have to, so we don't bring him up that much in therapy. Glad you are feeling better, but be sure to make sure your dad knows how much you love him. After all, he is still the person who has always been there for you. My dad knows that I love him. Have you talked about her husband apologizing to you? It's okay if you don't ever see each other again, but an apology is the least he can do. I don't care if he apologizes, I just want him to leave me alone. Have you thought about staying in Canada for uni? I have thought about staying in Canada for university. I still might, it's just the draw of Italy is that my whole family is there. And my dad isn't selling our house, he was going to rent it out, so if I stayed, I'd just stay here alone. Okay, I really think OP's dad should get therapy to get over whatever issues he has with therapy, lol. And if he keeps trying to stop his son from trying to fix his issues, or trying to stop his fiancé's niece and nephew from also getting the help they might need to deal with their parents' death, that could be a big problem for him in the future with his son, his fiancé, ex-wife and future adopted children. Also, I know it's hard, but I still think OP will have to find a way to deal with his issue with his mother's husband. I'm not saying they should have a relationship, but he's going to have to find a way to deal with it, because I think this hatred he feels for this man is not healthy for him, just like the resentment he felt for so long for his mother, was not healthy for him. And I really agree with the therapist and OP's mom when they say he should go to individual therapy, because there's still a lot he needs to work on without his mom, and there's always the risk that when he moves to another country, all the work he's done will be lost. I really hope that's not the case, but since his mother won't be there with him, and he refuses to go to therapy without her, there's a risk that he won't continue therapy with another psychologist, and that could be really bad for all the progress he's made so far. Because I really don't think his time left in the country he lives in now is enough to work, or even identify, all the issues OP needs to work on in himself. And what about you guys? What would you advise OP to do? How would you deal with his dad, mom, and stepdad? And what else would you advise him on how to deal with the kids? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.